So here's how to know your course will sell before you even build it. Probably the fastest way to avoid building the wrong course. And there is one main idea that I want you to get across here. Once you hear it, you won't be able to unhear it, and everything else after that will be minor details. I'm not big on fluff and taking an hour to explain something, so let's get right on into it. So, hook first, build second. If the hook doesn't make people stop, the course content just never matters. And the reason I say that is not because the content in the course is bad. I'm sure it's fantastic, but if people aren't just attracted to what you have and what you're offering, they're not going to make a purchase. The hook is pretty much everything. That's what creates the compelling offer. That's what allows people to purchase. That's what makes sales overall easier. Now, in the past, I started in internet marketing around 2012. I've done well over like 24 product launches. I've created a lot of courses and so on and so forth on many platforms, whether I'm selling myself or other platforms. What I used to do all the time was create my product and say, this is fantastic, right? I'm so proud of it. I put so much time and energy and effort into it. I'm like, all right, now how do I sell this? And the reason this doesn't work too well is because you get boxed into, as there's a box right here, into what's already in your specific product. Because if you want to create this fantastic hook and your product doesn't pay it off, now you have to either go back to the drawing board, redo everything, and then just maybe start from scratch. You're like, well, there's no really good selling points in this. How am I going to sell it? Which is a good question, right? So rather instead, you want to start off with a hook, something that's going to be very appealing. And don't worry if you're not well versed on creating hooks. I do have prompts for that, which I can help you with as well, but this is just the main idea here, right? So starting off with the hook. Even better, moving on to that from here, is that you want to frame multiple angles. So create several hooks leading to the same outcome to find the best fit. So not only are we changing how we think here, we're going with how am I going to sell this product? What's going to make it attractive? What's the great hook? We're going to come up now with even more hooks, all right? So not only do I have one hook, there's another way that this could be really beneficial. There's even another way. And I'll give you an example. Let's say we're creating a product right here. How to start a YouTube channel. Wow, congratulations. I think anyone can go to Gmail, create their account, create YouTube and so on and so forth. But something a little bit more attractive is, how to create a YouTube account where you're not worried about going viral without posting 5 videos every day. And while at the same time, you're generating leads and sales around the clock, even while you sleep. Yes, that was a very long headline and so on and so forth, but you can see the difference between it and how it stands out. And with that in mind, here's just another very quick example. How to grow a thriving YouTube channel without ever filming a video yourself. And you might think of that and you say, what? How is that even possible? And if you ever come up with a hook, you're probably going to know that it's good if you ask a similar question. Because the main idea of a hook is to get your perfect audience to say, how in the world is that even possible? How could I even do that? And of course, it's going to sound very attractive. Now, keep in mind, you always have to be able to pay off the hook. You can't just say, hey, you can grow a thriving YouTube channel, never film a video. And then if you're having them film videos, that's not good. That's just wrongful advertising, right? So that is something to keep in mind. So when you are going through with your hook, let's just say we're using this whole YouTube channel as an example throughout. What are other different angles that you can utilize, all right, without ever having to outsource to anyone else? Instead, what you can do is have ChatGPT write scripts, right? There's a lot of clever ways you can do it when it comes to utilizing AI. So if you're not ever getting in front of a camera, that's going to be a popular one. If you're not ever actually creating or editing a video yourself, you're having AI do it. That's another way to make a hook pay off. Do you see that now? So this could be 2 completely different courses. One's going to be generic about how you can actually go about just starting a YouTube channel. Another one's going to be multiple ways of creating your channel without ever getting in front of a camera, without creating a video yourself, without ever writing scripts. And all those can be pay off by using AI, maybe outsourcing and so on and so forth. So do you see how that's completely different? And as you can see, if originally this product was, film videos every single day, which is what I do, it works, right? But if someone's looking for something a little bit more enticing, now we're going to have AI do it. Now we're going to have someone else write the scripts and so on and so forth, all right? And this is going to be the hook to payoff loop, as you can see here. The course must deliver on the specific promise the hook makes. I talked about that, it's just a reiteration of that, so that when you are creating your hooks or coming up with your hooks, you want to say, how can I make this pay off in the specific course itself? So you can actually have multiple ways of doing it. It's like, hey, if you don't want to get in front of the camera, there's a way to do it there. If you don't want to ever have to write your own script, there's a way to do that there. Okay, so the thing about it is that hooks that are more attractive are going to get people more excited to actually pick up your course and go through. I understand you can't always make it as like easy and shiny as possible, but the better the hooks are going to be overall, the better your courses and your sales are going to be as well. Along with this, you get to eliminate the content guesswork. A clear hook makes it easy to decide what information stays or goes. So if I just wanted to create a bland YouTube product, I can do that. It's pretty much going to be everything under the sun. But if I want it to be only stuff related to AI, now I know exactly what I need to talk about. We're going to talk about scripts using AI. We're going to talk about specific software tools using AI that can create videos for you. Maybe about transcribing using AI, right? Maybe using AI to create landing pages and sales funnels and automating email follow-up. So everything's going to be either like automation or AI related. A completely different way of looking at a course now that you know exactly what you're going to be aiming for. So it eliminates a lot of the stuff you might be wanting to put in, because a lot of times when you create a course, you want to put everything in it, everything but the kitchen sink, as they say. So this can actually eliminate guesswork and a lot of time in the process. So another benefit of there. We have marketing flexibility. So different hooks allow you to frame the same result for different audiences, which is actually kind of cool. This is a much deeper strategy where, say, if you get a absolute grand slam of a course and you want to start selling it to, say, different demographics or different individuals, you can do that as long as the hook just changes up a little bit. So as an example here, maybe you're going to be targeting people who already have, say, other social media platforms. So this is going to be for social media marketers. Now you can talk about how you can use AI for creating YouTube, but the difference here is that you're not going to be focusing on like all these viral stats and analytics or things that people often just waste their time on. So that's going to be maybe targeted towards social media marketers. Now, if you're going to be targeting business owners, you can still use a similar hook, but you can also use something like without being chained to your computer all day, because, you know, as us business owners, we love working and building and growing our brand and business and so on and so forth. So this also allows for a lot of flexibility, not in who you're going to be targeting, but also when you create multiple hooks, you can now use multiple different types of headlines, knowing that when you create your course, you're always paying off those hooks that you've talked about previously. You see what I mean here? So if we have 5 different hooks, we can say, how do we want to go about selling this? We'll start off with one hook because you know your course pays it off. If that one doesn't work too well, maybe test out the second one or the third one, because you know you've already gone ahead, talked about those hooks, and then created them in your course, so you're going to be good to go. Okay, so last but not least, we have guaranteed relevance. So you are building a solution for a promise people actually care about. And yes, this is going to take a little bit of marketing know-how, which comes along with the territory of any market. Like I talked about before, just creating a course about, how to start a YouTube channel. If you have a huge tribe of people who know, like, and trust you, you'll probably make sales anyway. But if you actually apply a hook to it, now you're really cooking with gas, because 1, you'll probably make many more sales, and 2, you'll probably can actually enter in a cold market where people don't know you just because the hook is so attractive and they want to see what you've got going on there. Like, how are you paying that off? How are you able to create that channel without making any videos yourself? Like, side note, you'd have AI do it and so on and so forth, or you're not getting in front of the camera, whatever it is. So you're building a solution that not only people are really interested in, there's a lot of curiosity about it, there's a lot of interest in it, and because of that, people are going to want to dive into your course even more. So wrapping it up, this is all about finding those hooks first and then creating your content about it. Like I talked about, that's going to be the main idea here. That's why I explained it in the first 30 seconds. And a lot of these just kind of give you more reasoning behind why they work. And I believe I learned this from Alex Becker maybe 10 years ago or so. And this was something I implemented myself, and I did. It was night and day between a product I did when it comes to Facebook ads, how I changed it around. And at first, the difference was kind of like, here's what I did with Facebook ads. I had some success, and I completely changed it around to more of a case study, my results, and I gave them more done-for-you templates. This is what works. This is plug and play. I made it more of a done-for-you solution. I made it more templated. And it was geared around a specific result that I had created. Like, I generated just hundreds of leads pretty quickly when it comes to using Facebook ads. Nevertheless, though, that was the big switch for me, in that anytime I went to create a product, offer, or service or course, it's always going to be with that hook related. Like, what's in it for me in terms of the customer? When you think about it that way, you're going to separate yourself from everyone else creating courses. What makes it so special? answer that, find out multiple hooks for it, and then you're going to be good to creating your product, course, or offer. It's going to be able to convert so much better in the process. So that's going to be that. Like I said, not too much time diving into this. I will also give you this infographic in case you need to be reminded about it, but it is pretty straightforward. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got value out of this, and I'll talk to you soon.